I love Legos. Let me be the first to tell you. I've loved them ever since I was a child. And I've kind of reintroduced it to my son, Nico, right? And so we're supposed to turn all of this right here into, I don't know if y'all can see that, into a radio station, to a helicopter, to what looks like some kind of tower or volcano of some sort, and this bird. We're supposed to turn all of that into this. Believe it or not, we just did this one recently. And look how dope this looks, man. This is from Mandalorian, right? And it's a dope spaceship from the Mandalorian series on Disney. And Nico is very much into the Mandalorian series. And so we started to buy him Legos. Believe it or not, this right here started out like this right here with all these moving parts and pieces, right? And what I love about this is that there's a process to this. And it's funny because I'm in the season of life now where I find revelation in everything. My wife and I went away for an extended weekend trip last weekend. But before we left, I was working on this, right? That started out like this with Nico. And I love Nico, but Nico is very much one who walks to the beat of his own drum, right? He believes that rules are just guidelines, if you will, and not rules. And as an 8-year-old, like he's having to learn the hard way, right? Sometimes that rules are in place for a reason, right? And so as we were putting this thing together, right, there is a book, right? And I wish I had the book here with me now, but there's a book that tells you how to work this out. Now I can sit here and I can look at this picture, right? But there's some pieces that I can't see in the picture that if I start putting this together, I'm sure that I'm going to miss out something in some way, shape, or form, right? And so as we were going through the book and putting the pieces together for this dope spaceship right here, right? It would tell you something like, okay, you need one of these, you need one of these, and then you probably need 2 of these, right? So it tells you what you need, and then it gives you the diagram as to how you need to put the pieces together, right? And it starts showing you via the picture that, okay, yep, those 4 pieces that you're going to put together should look something like this, right? Now, this doesn't look like much, right? But it is foundational to the way that the rest of this is going to turn out. So as being young would have it, right? And being very anxious and quick to get to the end goal, Nico thought that he could just look at the pictures and not really pay attention to all the details, not pay attention to all the instructions, right? And so he pretty much was rushing through because he thought he saw what he needed to see in order to build what he needed to build. But there were some pieces, and after being frustrated with him and telling him like, look, Nico, you have to pay attention to each page. You got to pay attention to the detail, right? In order to get what you need to get. Why? Because what you're building right now is foundational for what's to come. In other words, how this is going to turn out. And as you can see, there's some intricate pieces in here inside, right? That if that one piece is missed, then you can't attach the missiles to it, which come later on in the instructions, right? So as frustration would have it, he kind of kept doing what he wanted to do, didn't follow the instructions, and I let him have it, right? It got to a point where he had to make some attachments such as these, such as the wings, and there was no place to attach it. Why? Because he missed a vital piece. As small as it was, he missed that vital piece. And so he had to tear that part of the spaceship down, go back to the page where he started building it, follow the directions to the detail, and then rebuild it, and everything turned out the way that it was supposed to turn out. What am I saying? I'm saying that in marriage, some of us are not trusting the process. We are rushing the process, right? Some of you want an end result and you're not having the conversations necessary in order to get what you want later on. Some of us are failing to realize that the way that we are growing, the challenges and the difficulties that we're facing right now, and having to slow down and having to pay attention to what's going on with our spouse and paying attention to the details, we don't realize that that is foundational in our marriage to what's to come later on. In looking at this, and looking at this, you're wondering to yourself, how could you turn this into this. We turn this into this by following the directions, by following the process, right? By trusting the process and not rushing the process, by not coming to our own conclusion, but following the directions that were given to us as it relates to this end product. Now, don't that look dope? That's one of the dopest things I've ever seen in my life, with Lego pieces like this, right? I'm saying to us in marriage, once again, don't rush the process. Trust the process. Have the conversations that you need to have, right? Be who you need to be. Embrace change, embrace difficulty, embrace challenge. Why? Because it's going to produce something later on. All the things that you are doing now are foundational to what you want your marriage to look like in the end. Don't be difficult. And even when you disagree, you don't have to be disagreeable, right? Work together. You're not the problem. Your spouse is not the problem. The problem is the problem. Work together. Follow the process with each other, against the problem and not each other, right? Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Y'all already know what I say about this thing. From shaky to good, from good to great. Ultimately, what we want is phenomenal. But phenomenal don't just happen. It takes work, specifically on trusting the process and not rushing the process. Because if you're not working on your marriage, then my friends, what are you doing? It's your boy Quest. I'm amazed how that can turn into that. I'm amazed. It's your boy Quest, y'all. Peace. What up, y'all? It's your boy Quest, man. Listen, I am a firm believer in marriages winning. That's right, including yours. So if you know somebody that might be able to use this information, or you might be able to use this information, subscribe, comment in the section below, like, and like I said, share with someone else. All right? If you want to reach me on social media, yeah, my Instagram link is over to the left. All right? Peace.